Some more breaking news coming in. At the moment, there's news coming in that the bank accounts related to the Popular Front of India have been freezed by the Enforcement Directorate. Under the Money Laundering Act, PFI bank accounts have been frozen. That's the information coming in at the moment from Bhavtosh. Let's try and connect with Bhavtosh in just a minute for those details. But big developments where the bank accounts related to the PFI have been freezed by the Enforcement Directorate. Under the Money Laundering Act, PFI's bank accounts have been frozen. So clearly there would have been a complaint that would have been made, and on the basis of which now bank accounts related to the PFI have been freezed by the Enforcement Directorate. In the past, there have been charges of the PFI getting money, not just from abroad, but also from different dubious sources, has been the allegation. What really in this case is the Enforcement Directorate looking at? That's what we will have to get further clarity on. But big development indeed, with PFI's bank accounts being frozen by the Enforcement Directorate under provisions of the PMLA, that is the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which the Enforcement Directorate is clearly the custodian agency of. So big development coming in with the bank accounts of PFI have been frozen by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's go across to Bhavtosh for more on this. Bhavtosh, what exactly is it that the Enforcement Directorate has found? What is the predicate offence, and where does the Enforcement Directorate believe the money laundering has happened in this particular case?
Yes, in fact, the Popular Front of India bank accounts have been frozen by the Enforcement Directorate. Remember, PFI has been under the scanner of the not only agencies that have been tracking the terror cases, but also of the Enforcement Directorate, which had registered the case on the basis of various FIRs that have been filed by the state police, but also by the NIA. Now, working on those cases, the Enforcement Directorate has found that various official members of PFI had in fact used the proceeds of crime to fund various projects, including the Munnar Valley project and also a bar in Middle East. In fact, their associates and official bearers have also been arrested by PFI, and the bank accounts of PFI have been frozen by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, ED has said that because these bank accounts have proceeds of crime, ED is within its right to freeze these bank accounts, and ED has said that under the mandate of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, they have done so. ED has said that their assets were attached earlier. Remember, a few office bearers of PFI were earlier arrested, and now a strict action has been taken by the Enforcement Directorate and the Federal Probe Agency, where they have now attached and frozen the bank accounts of PFI. Now, this is a very strict action that have been taken by the Federal Probe Agency, that is Enforcement Directorate, against PFI or the Popular Front of India, because they had been indulging in anti-national activities, and their bank accounts have been now frozen. We are still to wait for a statement from Popular Front of India, but the investigation that has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate since last December has been found that official bearers of PFI had in fact funded a project in Kerala, Munnar Valley project, in which ED had found that proceeds of crime were used, and subsequently they have also found that a bar in Middle East was also funded by the proceeds of crime. Subsequent to that, some official members or official bearers of PFI were called in for questioning, and they were then subsequently arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, PFI had said that the arrests were completely illegal. They even questioned as under what, in which powers of law that these individuals were arrested. ED then subsequently filed an prosecution complaint against these individuals, and PFI said that they will challenge this in the court of law. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us with all of those details there, Bhavtosh. Certainly, of course, we haven't heard the last word yet on this case. We'll continue to track all developments in relation to this particular developing story.